The quaint village of Altmoor hugged the banks of Loch Ness, half obscured by the swirling mist that rolled off the water like a shroud. The villagers often cast wary glances towards the loch, for here, stories of the Loch Ness monster had lingered like a ghostly echo for centuries. Their lives were built around these tales, some dismissive and some fully convinced of monstrous reality lurking just beneath the surface. However, for 18-year-old Ellie, the stories had transformed into fascination rather than fear. Ellie spent her summer rereading the legends and scouring the internet for evidence of Nessie's existence. Unlike the other teens enamored with beach parties and bonfires, she was enthralled by the mysterious depths of the loch. As the summer wore on, she convinced her friends, Noah and Freya, to embark on an adventure to uncover the truth. One warm evening, under the fading light of an amber sunset, the trio set sail on a modest rowboat borrowed from Freya's uncle. Armed with a few sandwiches, a thermos of hot chocolate, and a camera, they paddled into the heart of the loch. The water mirrored the sky, and for a moment Ellie felt invincible, wrapped up in the magic of possibility. "Just look at the stories they've told," Ellie said, her voice rising excitedly over the gentle lapping of the water. "People have seen Nessie here since the 6th century. It has to be real." "Yeah, or it's just a giant log," Noah smirked, rolling his eyes. Freya chuckled but leaned in closer to Ellie, a hint of intrigue furrowing her brow. Hours slipped away under the canopy of stars, their laughter punctuated by the occasional splashes of wildlife. But as darkness cloaked Loch Ness, a quiet tension settled among them, the thrill of their small expedition mingling with an undercurrent of trepidation. That was when they saw it. A ripple breaking the stillness of the water, the surface disturbed by something immense. "Did you see that?" Noah whispered, eyes wide. Ellie's heart raced as she nodded. A wave of excitement coursed through her. This was the moment they'd been waiting for. They angled the boat closer, urging it forward, each row a summons to reveal their quarry. The ripple expanded into a blur beneath the water, heavy, twisting, as if something enormous was under them. And then they all saw it. The shadowy form emerged. A long neck, dark and glistening, arched toward the moon, unmistakable and close. The creature's eyes, large and luminous, reflected the starlight as it surveyed the tiny intruders in its domain. Time stood still. The world held its breath. "Holy," Freya started but was cut short by a sudden booming sound that echoed against the mountains, a deep rumbling that vibrated under their feet. Ellie felt a chill creep down her spine. "Back, row back," Noah shouted, panic in his eyes. Ellie and Freya hurriedly turned their oars, trying to reverse their course. The loch stirred ominously as the creature twisted and dove, sending waves crashing against both sides of the boat, drenching them instantly. Ellie's heart raced as she fumbled for her camera, instinct urging her to capture the moment. "We have to get a picture. People need to know. No, we need to get away," Freya screamed, her usually calm demeanor unraveling. But Ellie was captivated. Her fingers clutched the camera so tightly it trembled. As they retreated, Ellie's eyes were glued to the water, expecting to see the silhouette disappear beneath the surface. Instead, it surged up, breaking the surface again with a terrifying speed, closer now, its monstrous form rippling under the silver glow, gliding effortlessly through the water, those enormous, shining eyes watching them. With one fierce pull, the creature thrust upward, and the very boat they depended on exploded into fragments, splinters flying like daggers. Ellie spiraled into the cold, black water, heart pounding as she gasped for air. Panicked, she kicked and sputtered, her eyes darting around, desperately searching for the others. "Ellie," Freya's voice pierced through the chaos. She was floundering nearby, but Noah was nowhere in sight. "We have to swim to the shore." Something swirled beneath Ellie, something huge. The legends had been whispered in the dark for centuries, but now, enveloped in terror, Ellie realized those tales were more than just stories. She kicked furiously, adrenaline pumping through her veins while Freya grabbed her hand, pulling her toward the distant glow of lanterns on the shore. "Keep going," Freya shouted, fear woven tightly into her words. Just as they began to see the shallows ahead, Ellie felt a rumble of the beast below, crashing through the surface yet again. The water erupted around them, causing both girls to scream. A monstrous shape broke the water, glimmering in the moonlight, expansive and terrifying. But they didn't have time to look. They lunged their arms ahead, propelling themselves toward safety, breathless and gasping. Finally, with one desperate stroke, they clawed their way onto the rocky shore, collapsing onto the damp earth. Heart still racing, Ellie looked back in horror, watching the creature submerge back into the depths of Loch Ness, the water settling into eerie silence. "Where's Noah?" Freya gasped between panting breaths. But even as the question hung in the air, Ellie felt a profound knowing settle over her. Some secrets were not meant to be uncovered, and some monsters were better left swimming unseen, dwelling in the ancient stories of the loch. And as they shivered in the dark, she couldn't shake the haunting realization that perhaps Nessie was more than just a mere mystery. Perhaps it was an echo of the fears they had awakened that fateful night, watching from the depths, forever lurking.